first. And again, the introduction, I'm the head witch, Sharon Batlin, also known as your president, and I'm not wearing a hat. And we're gonna go around the table and introduce ourselves. Everybody knows Nikki, right? Nikki, they better. So, she's our head witch. She doesn't have a hat on. Anyway.
I can't put on the hat.
All right, so we're gonna go around, and I've been a master gardener since 2006, I think. My class had 6 people, of course, I'm the only one still here. And, I've been your president since before COVID, so anytime you want to be president, no problem. And, I keep saying that because I jumped in. And,
Hint, hint.
welcome, Julia.
Joyce Burr, Master Gardener trainee.
Cheryl Landers, Master Gardener trainee. Okay, sorry. I've been Master Gardener since 2010, but in Rhode Island. So I'm a new Master Gardener of 2023 here. Post-class Master Gardener. I do the maintenance along with Bill at the IT Center, and recently we pulled the library planting at the National Library in Korea.
Hey, let me tell you all something. Do not knock that COVID class, okay? I have 100% participation out of that class because they were all determined to be here. And that's not an easy commitment to make, to be sitting up staring at me on your screen for 8 or 9 hours out of your day.
And let's remind people what Jane did.
Jane did it virtually as well.
I was in Portugal and Spain.
Graduated. I was able to see it live.
All her Thursdays.
That was cool.
All right. Carla McMahon, Master Gardener trainee.
Actually,
Is that what it's called now? I mean, we're
no, you're master
graduating.
graduating.
Class of 2023.
All right.
Linda Roberts, Master Gardener as of now. Roland Perna, and I'm just here for the drink. Not for the diet. Julie Young, I was part of this Master Gardener training. Peggy Johnson, I was also part of this training class, Master Gardener training class. Fran Robinson, Master Gardener here since 2014. And what do I do? Right now, my biggest project is the Garden Club Native and Green Garden. Anybody want to join me? Get hours. See her because I've got a dentist appointment. I have to leave it a little bit. I will take names. Give you time.
Susan Gordon, I was in Nikki's second class, long ago and far away. Let's see, I work with 4-H kids at
Help me with my data at the end of the year.
I do what?
Help me with my data at the end of the year.
Data at the end of the year, load candy and candy things for Easter. And I helped Caitlin, I judged a project in the spring, 4-H project, which I didn't know how to write down, so it says 5 hours that you won't know what that was for.
I will know what it's for. I got the email.
Oh, okay. And I actually love 4-H. It's I was 4-H when I was a kid, and I love that it's part of UF, which I didn't know.
Oh, yeah, and that's a fun thing to do, the judging. I
Yeah,
did it
so
with Susan, yeah. You watch these little kids become,
They're amazing.
yeah, they are, to train to become public speakers.
Oh, my gosh,
Their project.
I went to that opening thing that Caitlin did at the IG Center, and there were kids who spoke from the 4-H, and they were, honestly, I couldn't speak like this, and knowledgeable about chickens and what to grow and what soil to use, and we should have them. I thought, those two boys, those daughters who were so good. You know what I mean? You weren't there.
I do know who they are.
Okay, I'm done.
Hey, everybody. My name's Brian Schaffner. I'm one of the master gardeners from the latest class.
Yay, welcome.
Sandy Solomon, class of 2013, been here a while, today. We have a good time. Manson Gardner from
2016.
2016, first class. Take good care.
South Illinois, 2020. We're the last Wednesday of the month in Sebastian. We planted a garden in front of the library in Sebastian, so. Yep.
From Carlos, Illinois. Yes, I'm a master gardener, but, my mother, I've taken care of for 2 years, is up there.
Oh,
So now I have more master gardeners. Somebody says, what are you gonna do now that your mother's gone? She's 87 and. But, now you get to garden more. Yeah, now I get to garden more. So, you guys have heard me talk about my mother,
Yes.
but, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's
It happens.
it's been a reoccurring theme recently. Go ahead, Raj.
Raj Nabar, I'm Master Gardener class of 2023. Looking forward to contributing.
He was also one of my virtual people and a Smith people.
Oh, well, thank you
So,
for being
yeah.
not virtual.
He logged in, right? He logged in from India once or twice, so.
You guys are talking too much, so I have to come in.
It's nice to see for yourself, huh?
Yes.
Hey, Phil.
Phil Reynolds, 3rd year as a master gardener here at 5 years in Iowa, 14 years. I work with Janice at the IG Center.
Yeah.
Nancy Richards, I'm one of Nikki's first babies, 2016. And I enjoy, a lot, actually, answering people's questions who call in on Monday afternoons. I've been with us on Monday afternoon. I've learned a tremendous amount by doing that, by the way, because you all know this class is so quick to learn a little bit about everything, but what you really learn is how little you know. Yeah, and then you get to like learning of the language, so then I get a chance to do that.
I'm Karen Bourne, graduate. I'll be working.
Karen Glass, graduate as well.
I've been working with Julia on Friday morning.
Right, well, welcome. Come on, Violet. Come on, Bari.
Violet Crockmoley, Master Gardener of 2004,
And
and recently got to sit in on a lot of Nikki's classes, and it was a lot of fun. I've learned a lot, things have changed, and things have been forgotten.
Yeah.
Advisor, since 2018, I do a lot of education and teaching.
And Yvonne? Didn't get to do
Yvonne
this.
Flores.
she's sitting in the corner, just like this thing on her head.
That's fine.
That's why you're not,
You're right.
Let me tell you something, I'm avoiding her like the plague.
She doesn't like spiders. That's why I asked her.
I am squatting. A swatter?
Oh,
Oh, no, I don't get that close to them. I use a broom.
Well, there it is, right next to it.
Nancy brought the
broom.
The broom.
All right.
Go ahead, Yvonne. So when were you trained and what is it that you're doing? Yes. She's currently our administrator.
All right.
Everything.
So I'm gonna whiz through the rest of the meeting, and then I'll let you take over, okay? The IG Center, we have new plants in the pots, and that's Janice and Phil that are busy keeping them watered.
And
And
I
the-
should be receiving 2 more people on that team shortly.
Oh, good. Sebastian Library, we have, Julia and, Lauren and Janet and Mort. And Mort, who work the desk, but they also did the plantings in front of the library. And I believe you got cookies from. We got cookies from Charlie and Carly. Okay.
Charlie and Carla.
Okay, good. So they'll fill out, they'll look good. The Guyak Garden, they've got their students, and they're looking for money to help scholarships to help pay for these students. I hope you've got the garden club stuff filled out.
I do. I'm gonna be printing it off and sending it off with you.
Is that us? Is that 40?
That's our story.
I forgot to say Corolla helps us out there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, she helps
Corolla
everywhere.
jumped in. with
She
both
jumps
feet.
in everywhere.
Corolla was at the Sebastian Library.
Monday afternoon.
Yeah.
So the students are there Tuesday afternoon. What time?
3:45 to 5 o'clock. Yes, that's the 4-H garden club. Junior Master Gardening Program.
Okay, staffing our clinic so far, I think we just have Monday afternoon with Nancy Richards, Karen, me, I can't say Karen anymore because there's lots of us. Karen Batlin and Gwen Campbell do Wednesday mornings, Reba does Thursday, Julia does it on Friday, and our Sebastian clinic is staffed every Wednesday from 10 to 12. They each take a turn. Are there any others covering the afternoons? Any of your new ones going in yet covering afternoons? You can come sit in on any of us, anytime you want to come and sit and see what we do.
Anyone who wants to be trained to work the plant clinic needs to shadow one of
Come in and
the
sit
other
beside us.
master gardeners who are trained to show you the paperwork, the process in which if a client comes in with a plant or with
Emails, everything.
whatever, I mean, there's paperwork that if someone physically walks in the door with a leaf or a twig and doesn't know what it is, or has a problem with it and needs a diagnosis, there are sheets to be filled out that UF requires, cut a tree down for them. Anyway, there's also a form for the soil, pH. So the person that does that can,
And that's
the people that work in the office can show the new people where everything is and show them how to log on the computer and how we research stuff and get it to the client when they email.
Sells better than I sell.
Yeah, so you all, all of the new volunteers would have learned and would have seen all of those forms. Everyone got those forms during training this year. And yes,
Also at the citrus workshop we just did at 4-H, we encouraged those kids and their parents to come into the master gardener office if they needed help with their citrus trees. But their advice must be tempered with what is allowed and not allowed for the fair.
yeah. So we're
Okay,
that tightrope.
so if you don't know Better Impact, you need to get very familiar with it. It's hard to get familiar with, it's hard to get cozy with it. You get an hour for this meeting and an hour for education, or you can email me. I'll email the Master Gardener desk and say, this is so-and-so, I've got this many hours on this many dates, and I can enter them for you. Yay.
Bring wine?
Wait, Lori and Mark, Lori, how long?
So Lori was in my first class.
Okay.
Lori was in 2016, and then Mark came tumbling after in 2018.
They didn't do it together?
No. But what was, they might as well have, because Mark was at everything, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it was like, Mark, here's your paperwork. I expect to see you have it filled out shortly. And Lori just filled in all of the blanks as she does. gave it back to me, and then I saw Mark show up on time for every class in 2018, and I was like, yeah, it's good. Now we've got that sorted.
Now we've got them both. Okay.
We have the vote for the committee.
Our new business, obviously, I've already mentioned electing new officers and nobody's jumped up. Field trips and fairs, that's both, Julia, kind of underneath you. What fairs do we want to do? Festivals, Frog Leg, Garden Fest?
We're already signed up for Frog Leg.
You're already signed up for Garden Fest.
Hibiscus Festival, they're still wobbling on whether or not they want us to be out there because it's more of an arts festival these days than it is anything else. And so they can't figure out if
Where we would.
we would be able to sit in and serve there.
You signed up for
Disney
Garden
does
Fest.
not do their customer appreciation day the way that they used to do it. They just run a sale these days. So it's not like last time when we set up a tent and we were able to give out, great advice, and I did recipe cards for herbs. Let me see, we're already signed up for Garden Fest. Garden Fest is always a default for our Master Gardener Club because we work very closely with the Garden Club.
And also because I'm chairman.
Right.
Minor detail.
And I get those forms first.
And delivered.
Right. And the Sebastian Earth Day, I emailed the people who are in charge of Sebastian Earth Day, and they're getting back to me because they don't have their application up yet. Which was funny to me, because I was like, oh, okay, but you all at least have dates, and they were like, well, not really either. So as soon as they get their thing, which we're exchanging a lot of things, so that's for fairs and festivals.
Okay,
The 4-H, well, firefighters fair, it's not the 4-H fair.
Yeah.
The firefighters fair is a whole week in March. This year, I want us to do, not just a static display, I want us to be there. If you all have really great ideas for things that we could possibly do at our table at the fair, I am open to those ideas. I was thinking about, setting plants into a clear plastic container and letting people see the roots of plants and figuring out how the plant root systems work. But I'm not sure about how that would happen. So if you come up with some really great ideas to help me make my dreams come true, that would be great. Or if you have another idea, we have our chicken display that we're gonna set back up again this year. I know that.
Free tomato plants?
Free tomato plants in February. Let me look at the window.
We did that.
We did that before, and it was great. They were great. So maybe we can just propagate some tomatoes and herb plants and have those all set up as well and give them our handouts, which are gonna be there anyway. So whatever ideas you all come up with, please email me. I'm not going to remember them because my brain is a sieve. You all know that. So email me with your great ideas and let me know how you would like to help me accomplish them. And we can get together on that shortly to get that done. So that, I think, is all of our fairs and
So
festivals.
we're gonna have Julia discuss the field trip that she's gonna discuss it. The 15th of November.
This is for the 15th of November. I went online and I copied the Brevard Discovery Garden. I really was wondering if it was going to be adequate enough for people to want to travel 50 miles to go there and visit it. But it's hosted, it's all done by the Master Gardeners of Brevard County. The mission is to promote and increase appreciation for Central Florida environment. The garden seeks to inspire, support, and educate the community about environmentally friendly horticulture through UF research-based demonstrations, collections, and displays. And it's being developed by the Master Gardeners using a combination of native, keystone, and Florida-friendly plants. Its goal is to provide local community with an educational venue to show residents firsthand how to use the sustainable horticulture practices that support a healthy environment. And I know we already know this, but this is a Master Gardener garden that we're going to go visit. And the Brevard Discovery Garden is 100% done by volunteers, and the funding for it comes from donations and plant sales, which we could use, hopefully, when we do something ourselves. And, so anyway, I have a map. It's gonna have different gardens in here. There's propagates plants, which are marketed, for semi-annual plant sales, providing residents with much-needed local resources for natives. Keeps down and those FFL plants. The nursery grows a diverse collection of seasonal herbs and vegetables. There is a greenhouse also, and when I called a couple of weeks ago, they said that the greenhouse was having some work done on it. I don't know if they had a loss with their germination area and they had to start over. I wasn't really clear on that, but, you'll also find a wide variety of succulents and often plants and, other plants in decorative pots, various displays of container gardening and all of the different types of gardening. And, the demonstration garden is only open twice a month, the first and third Wednesday, and we decided, took a group consensus, the emails were sent out to all the master gardeners, and the majority ruled for the the third Wednesday of November to go. Unfortunately, there are people that won't be able to go on all the field trips. Hopefully, we'll be able to set it up to where, it'll be diverse, where everyone gets an opportunity to go on at least one or two of the field trips each year. But here's a map of the garden. Yvonne made 2 copies of it. There are several different areas. There's a pollinator garden, an herb garden, a rain swale garden. There's a bromeliad area. There's an orchard. There's Florida natives, the coastal garden, and raised garden.
An orchard.
An orchard. So I'm excited about
Isn't that a northern word?
And then, of course, the Royal Poinciana shade garden, which I thought was kind of funny, next to the orchard. There's a Royal Poinciana shade garden. Ooh, okay. So anyway, I have the directions for anyone who can't Google or figure out how to get there. But we also made a decision that the best place to meet, if you need to follow along, would be the Sebastian Library, since the parking lot, we can off-park. I don't know how busy the library is gonna be that day. But the address is very easy to get to. It's right off 95, the 520 up in Brevard County. You go east and then you make a left on Lake Avenue and go down. I mean, there's great signage for the U.S. Extension offices.
What's the address?
It is, the other thing, the garden is only open from 9 until noon.
10.
Or 10 until noon, rather.
So we want to
So
be
it's only
there
2
at
hours.
10.
It is located at, I'm going Lake. Okay, 3695 Lake Drive in Cocoa. And that's also where their extension office is. And I was up there about probably 9 years ago. It's a great location, lots of shade, yes.
There's also a very cool nursery called Rockledge Garden.
That's where we're,
Yes.
I'm not there yet. For any of those who want to come back down via US 1, we would like to, if whoever wants to, after we leave the demonstration garden, can head east over to Cocoa Village, which is right there at 520 before you go over the Intercoastal Bridge. There's a fabulous park there, and then the old Cocoa Village historical area. It's got a lot of cool little shops, boutiques, and lots of different kinds of restaurants. You can grab lunch there with whoever's riding with you in your car. You all get to choose what you want to
That's
do.
a car decision.
That's a car decision. Each car gets to decide what they want to do. If they want to go to Cocoa Village for lunch and then make their way south on US 1, which is a beautiful ride, unlike south, we've still got lots of water view up there. Anyway, that Rockledge Garden is up there, and I understand years ago I used to shop there for a lot of my butterfly plants, and there used to be an insecticide-free nursery where you could buy things that have never been sprayed with insecticide.
So what time are we meeting at the Sebastian Library?
Well, in order for us to be up there at 10 o'clock to their garden, I would recommend that if we're going to follow, and we need to have somebody follow along with, that we need to be there at 9 o'clock at the library so that we can get on the road in 10 minutes.
So,
Because it's gonna
be
take
there
us about
between 8:45 and 9. I already, in my car, I have Sandra and Julia, so I can take one more. I can always get a bigger one if I want it.
It's about a 59-minute ride from Rose. So,
I will remember that when I want to go to the Caladium Festival this year.
Oh, in the summer, forget it. I
You
did.
can just sit down in a bigger car.
I've done it twice, I'll never do it again.
Can I get a consensus of who wants to go? It doesn't cost anything to get in the place. It's all volunteer run. We're not gonna get a tour. We're gonna go visit and, spend as much time as you want. Okay, how many people? Okay, and have you all decided who's gonna drive with who?
I'm going.
Well, I have just.
Okay, take Janet.
So Janice and Rita can take two more if anyone wants to
Yeah,
come.
we're down for COVID. Get your.
And whoever raised their hand want to get up with, either Karen's got one more seat, Janice has two more seats, and then if there's a third car that someone wants to drive and have others go with you, you all need to get together with each other. So anyway.
I'll send an email out, but.
Can I ask you a question? For those of us that can't make it then, is it open to the public?
Oh, yeah.
It is open to the public, but it's only open the first and third Wednesday morning.
Only Wednesday, yeah.
Wednesday morning, the master gardeners are in there working, and I suppose after they're finished, they close the gate, and then you're not supposed to go in. So we would actually go in there, we're watching them work or do their thing and check out their gardens and see, you know, how they're gardening in the next county north, which is a pretty cool thing to do. So, and it's a nice little thing.
And I will send out an email to everyone,
So,
and who's driving and, you know, that'll come.
and then that way, after they visited the garden, the cars can decide if they want to go to Cocoa Village on, it's east of US 1, Cocoa Village. And so if someone isn't going there, then they can leave from the demonstration garden, go back to 95 and blow back home and just, you know, call it more time on the road than in doing anything. But, so that's what I have to say about that. And, talking about field trips, after we do this field trip, we'd like to think of another field trip so that we can have a few field trips during the cool months. So,
Cocoa Village has really great lunch
yes,
options.
it has.
They also have the Seaside Succulent store, which is
Yes.
amazing.
Oh.
Have all kinds of cool
Stuff.
stands, and they do a lot of fun workshops.
Yes, there's a lot of fun shops up there.
Yeah, it's a really cool place. You cannot miss that one.
You know, you might want to, whoever's going might want to decide that they're not going to set aside just 2 or 3 hours of their precious day for this, but to spend a half a day at least as a field trip and not expect to get back here until perhaps 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You know, by the time you eat lunch and then stop along the way, you know, it's not gonna, you know, get you done in 2 hours.
Okay. I'm getting the sign.
Okay.
All right, Nikki, you're up. It's you.
I'm gonna cover 2 other field trips.
We'll do that, yeah. Let's get one of them. Oh, we also have 2 people on Zoom, right? We do. Who we didn't introduce. Did everybody sign the sign-up sheet that went around?
It's here, yeah, I signed Lauren's comment.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
Sandra. You didn't sign it.
She'd be the second one, she's probably not.
Okay, so those of you in this meeting or anywhere at all, who's the two? Julia, I just created your Brevard field trip event. So that way you all will be able to see who is going to this thing and then collaborate with them to carpool and do all of the great things and discuss who is going to be having lunch where.
having the field trips and opportunities, and let the new Hampshire Gardeners do the time starts from when they leave.
Oh, yes, I had explained that to them from before, but I'm gonna say it to all of you now. Yeah. All right, so good morning, everybody. Speaking of when you sign up for things like this, so for field trips and other things where we leave from one location to go to another location and you all are doing something for or with my program, your time starts when you all muster. So that is when you are under my care, okay? So when you all go to the library in Sebastian at 8:45, that is when your time volunteering starts. Or that is, okay? And then the 2 hours that you all are gonna be at the garden in Cocoa Beach, those are 2 hours of continuing education. And then the time that it takes to drive back, with the gap in there for lunch, you are still under my care. You're still under my program until you all return to Sebastian or from wherever you all came. So the window on that event, I put it in there for 8:45 to 1 o'clock. You're gonna take 2 hours out of that for your continuing education. And then the rest of that time is gonna go under your volunteer hours, okay? That way, if something were to happen, we don't want that, but if something were to happen, you all are covered under U.S. Workmen's Compensation. Does that make sense? Okay, good. Mark, I love having you in the room, no matter what it is that you're doing. All right, so let's talk for a little bit. The other day when I started doing my post-training interviews, I started my post-training interviews with the one person who I needed to speak with first. That was Jane, because Jane is going to be helping me take care of you all better, much better. So give us some more time. We're working out the kinks, and and she's asking me really great questions that I don't think about because the things are in my head, right? So I automatically I don't say it, but I should say it, and I don't know I'm supposed to say it because my brain just skips that part. It's a little record with a little scratch on it, right? So Jane is going to make sure that I'm not skipping parts that are very important that you all really need to have and need to know. So Jane is now one of the admins on Better Impact. That is going to be such a great boost for Karen and the amount of things that she does and the way that the two of them will be able to work together to make volunteering a much better experience for you all going forward. I'm very grateful for that. Cheryl is sitting right next to Jane, which I think is fortuitous, because Cheryl is going to be helping me get my youth programming life together. Cheryl has a really great background in all of the things that I need help with. So she is going to be helping me and eventually just run youth programming, right? And then I have Corolla. I have not had a meeting with Corolla. Corolla does not seem to need a meeting, right? Corolla met me, and she was like, hey, so I'm going to Gifford. I'm going to be out there, and I'm going to be devoting myself to that, and that's where I want Corolla to be. And in 2 or 3 years, I'm just going to hand that over to her and let her live her very best life and send me emails. Hey, Nikki, we have this coming up, and I need this kind of money, or I need that order put through, and we're going to get that done. There's also Cindy, who is joining us on Zoom. She will be working on youth programming with me as well. There are some skills that she has that I really need to leverage because I don't have those skills. And not only do I not have those skills, I do not have the time to develop them in order to provide that aspect of youth programming the way that she could. So she is also going to be working on youth programming. So I have a CCC group that are eventually, when I start micromanaging them, they will be running with the programming on their own in 2 to 3 years. Yeah, right? Right? It's amazing. And then I spoke with a few other new volunteers this week who are going to be supporting all of these efforts as well. I interviewed Peggy Thompson, who has an organizational brain, and I appreciate that tremendously. So she's going to be helping me with scheduling and materials management for Speakers Bureau. I know you all are happy about that. And Reva is also going to be working with us to get that in order and in place. And speaking of Speakers Bureau, our speaker series starts next week. I just got our new dates from the libraries, and I just got our new openings from the libraries. The first class is on the 8th, I believe, and the second class, don't let me lie to y'all. Don't let me tell you all lies. I will print that off and I'm sending that out, but I would like to meet with everybody and please check and see if you have not signed up for Speakers Bureau, join that committee. And if you don't think that you've signed up for Speakers Bureau, still check that committee.
8th of November is a Wednesday.
Yes, and then the next Thursday after that. So we're back at Brackett and we're back at Sebastian. So hold on a second. I don't know, y'all. I don't have the schedule in my hand, but it is on Eventbrite. But here's what I need for you all to do for right now. Give me a moment and let me send out the schedule to you all. And then please focus on these next pieces of information. We're not doing weekly events. We're doing one workshop per month. We have 6 events coming up during the season from November to April. We're doing 4-hour workshops. I would like to have at least 5 of you volunteering for each and every one of those workshops. That is the minimum. We need 3 people or 2 people to speak. One person speaking all doggone time is not going to be a good experience for any volunteer. It is not. I don't even like doing it.
You think we're
And I'm training you all day.
Come and put 4 hours in?
Yes,
Not
people are
volunteers.
signing up.
People, okay.
People are signing up on Eventbrite already, and I haven't even released it.
Hours that they're gonna sit in there and.
It's a workshop.
Alright.
It's a workshop.
To the public?
So
It's a workshop.
different from Speakers Bureau.
No, the Speakers Bureau is offering workshops.
Side of it.
Yes, we're offering workshops. So the workshops have particular themes. The first set of classes is snowbird gardening and container gardening. So snowbird 1 and 2, and then container. Because do you all see how those things can get together? Right. So that is what we're doing. We're offering 1 half-a-day workshop, and then we're getting out of there for the rest of the month. That'll give you all a moment to just be like, "Woo, that was difficult." But and then the next month,
Same one that month at both.
at both places.
Great.
We have mirroring schedules, just like what we've done in the past. But this year, I refuse to put us all through the ringer of 10, 15, 20 weeks of just full out every single week. We're up in the air. That is not a good situation for us to be in. And I wanted to turn us into workshop direction for a few years, but then that few years ended up being COVID years. So this is the first year that I've been able to implement the workshop format. I think that is going to be better. And let me be brave and tell you all, my classes are locked to 15 people. 15 people in that class, that is the lock. Now, if you're a master gardener and you want to attend the class, then you just send me a little message and I'll just add you to the class if you just want to attend. And it would be nice if you attend, because it'll give some of your fellow master gardeners, other people who are familiar with them, to engage with, and maybe you can also help us to say, you know what, this question was asked 4 times, that question was asked 8 times. Let's make sure that we do a lecture on that next, or something like that. So it would be good for you to provide feedback. Yes, Julia?
So you're gonna bring the material, you're gonna provide the material.
We're
for the
doing our
workshop.
box. We're doing our usual box setup. Almost every single workshop has a giveaway of plants, and I am trying to get a hold of a couple of our colleagues over at Waste Management. And if I do, then we'll have a giveaway for the one that's on composting. Yes, Mark?
I'll take whatever class is no.
I already, no, I already have you signed up, sir.
Okay.
You don't worry yourself. When I send you your dates, you just show up.
I could talk for 4 hours.
So I have irrigation and stuff sorted out for you. And, And the next time that we're offering our workshops next year, I want us to be able to have our space that we can roll out I love dirt. I love soil. I want us to be able to show people how to walk with their fertilizer spreader, and I also want to show them basic irrigation parts and pieces. But that's not for this year. That's not for this year. But next year, that's my game plan for making the workshop a little bit better and to give people. I know you did. That was your talk for Master Gardener training. All right, so we're doing workshops. I need you all to respond to the email that I drafted from last night, and that's going to be wonderful. And those of you who I've already had meetings with, you all know who you are. Please show up to just be in the room, familiarize yourself with the process of Speaker Zero, and know that your fellow Master Gardeners will not mind if you're not up there speaking, but they will mind if you're not there at all. Yes, that is true.
Vicki, you need how many speakers and you need people?
I need at least 3 speakers per workshop, and I want at least 2 or 3 other people there to support those speakers.
You need IT.
So 5, yes, and even that, yes, Julia.
My question to you is, how is that gonna affect the plant clinic on Wednesday morning at the library?
It will not.
Because it's gonna be in the afternoon.
I don't know if that's at Sebastian or if it's at Brackett. I don't remember which day it is.
Okay,
Which
so you
library.
don't- it's either Wednesday or Thursday at Sebastian.
One of them.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Yeah, I'm excited too, but I just don't remember. Which is, my brain is fried, you all. It's been a year. All right, so let's talk about, social media. Just because you don't post on social media doesn't mean that you cannot help with social media. Karen Willem is going to be the person who you would send all of your cute photographs. Oh, look, I saw a tortoise today. Yay, send it to her. And don't, on email. Okay?
How do we know her email?
It's on Better Impact. Yes, please sign up.
What's impact?
Ask Lori.
Oh, no, my shoes are too cute for that.
Take my shoe off and have her. I can send an email out to everyone.
Yes, I will, yes. So, send Karen your cute photographs. However, do not send Karen your cute photographs without some verbiage. At the Sebastian Inlet today, my dog uncovered this tortoise. Whatever cuteness it is that provoked you to take that photograph, or whatever thoughts you had at the time, put it into the email. It is too much work to be trying to caption photographs that you did not take, that you were not there to experience, right? So, and then pay attention to things that you all are seeing, because all of you are, I appreciate this about you all. You all are lifelong learners. You all engage with different mediums to find information that is pertinent to this kind of programming. So if you all see something on water programming somewhere that you all think would be valuable in our community, share it with Karen so that Karen can put it up onto our social media pages, all right? Please remember what I always tell you all about it. We can't promote Uncle Bob's environmental page, right? Unless Uncle Bob is doing something that has robust research behind it. We just can't do that. So, but I'm not against promoting something that the horticultural department at FAU is doing. I'm not against promoting something that the horticultural department at FIU is doing. I see them every year at Florida State Horticultural Society meetings. I would love to put their work up on our Facebook page. There's no problem, because they're doing the hard work. They're doing very, very robust research, right? So that is all very good. Share your information with Karen. Please bypass me entirely, because then you don't have to be like, I sent this to Nikki and she did nothing with it. Don't do that to me, please, and thank you. I have a lot of other things that I'm just barely keeping up in the air, as you all know, right? So I reached out for help and I received that assistance. All right, so let's talk about better impact categories and descriptions, because during one of my meetings with Jane, she was like, yeah, the categories are there, but nobody knows what they mean. I was like, what do you mean they don't know what it means? It means community and youth gardens. Duh. And there are 10 sentences in my brain that says what community and youth gardens means, and it only means it to me because it's stuck in my head. So if you don't sign up for it because it's ambiguous to you, I didn't think of that when I put it up there. And I also didn't have the opportunity to really fill in the blanks as I should have, because Better Impact was dropped during COVID. And I literally did 3 trainings on Better Impact, 2 of which were all on Zoom, and the third one, we were finally able to come in here, and people had their tablets, their laptops in here, and their phones in here for us to at least get people logged in. So please bear with us all. We've been making that very steep curve that was the Delta called COVID, right? So we will get those filled in a little bit better shortly. So community and youth gardening categories, that is all about assisting youth and community gardening programming. All right, we don't have any community garden boxes yet, but they are coming. They're being developed as we speak. We're going to have a whole entire program just built out onto that foundation. We do have our youth programming going on, of course, is at the Youth Achievement Center. That is the one space that I have the ability to do as much as I can without having to butt heads and ask for permission. So that is the reason why you're going to see a lot of the things that I get to do come out of that one space for right now. When I get some more space and we can move things around a lot more in the county, then more things will be popping up more proximate to other people in the county, okay? One of the things with community and youth gardening is teaching youth and community members directly. But if you're not inclined to work with young children, don't show up for that. Don't come to Garden Club. Garden Club will be taken care of. But if you say to yourself, I'm not into hanging out with the germ spreading, crumb snatching young people, that is fine. That still doesn't mean that you can't come and help us propagate plants in this space. Help us provide farm to table programming when we get that up and running. There are other things that you can do to support youth education without involving yourself with the youth, all right? So it's okay for you not to want to work with any age group of young people directly. You can still support that program, okay? And then there is also the gardening task. There's weeding, there's planting, there's watering, there's propagating, there's all of the things. Helping Lena and Vincent out there, they have been very delighted with the showers of new volunteers that have come out there. I've gotten really great feedback, like glowing reviews for all of you who have showed up and done something out there with them. And they are a very sweet little duo out there in the garden. You could do worse for gardening partners, all right? You could totally do a lot worse than Lena and Vincent for gardening partners. All right, the demonstration garden category. This is where we do everything from installation and maintenance of plants to the evaluation of those plants. Did they look like we expected them to look in this space? And if they don't, what are we going to do about it? Is it our management technique, or is that just the wrong plant in the wrong place, right? And then, of course, with demonstration garden work, you're going to end up engaging with the public in some way, shape, or form. It's okay if you're not a chatty person at the grocery store. It is also okay if you're not a chatty person while you're gardening. It is okay for you to look at someone and say, hi, I have no idea what I'm doing here. I was told to just prune this. However, the person who knows more about this you're able to contact that person in this way, all right? That is the polite way of managing people who come up to engage with you in a site that is developed for public engagement, all right? And I'm saying that to you all because I did go to a volunteer-run garden, and a master gardener in another county, hallelujah, not mine, looked at me and said, "Look, lady." And I was like, oh dear, you're having a difficult day. I'm going to leave you to your gardening activities. I hope your day gets better. Because it was never going to go anywhere but downhill from there.
Did you go to Naples?
No, it was not in Naples, but it was out west. It must be something to do with the red tide air out there, right? That's what we're going to say. All right, so then there are fairs and festivals. We discussed and we described a few of them. Most of the things that we do at fairs and festivals is we have the table, we have very popular basic publications, and we try our best to answer questions. When we don't get an opportunity to answer that question to our satisfaction or the participant satisfaction, the amazing Linda Carroll gave me the very best recommendation ever. Put in a desk sheet, a desk log sheet into our kit, so that when someone asks us a question and we do not have an adequate answer for them, we just write down their information. We take a little bit of their question and put it in there, and we put it on the desk so that whoever is on the desk can contact that person and help them with properly researched information. I would never have thought of that. Let me tell you all that from now. Like, it would never have occurred to me to do it that way, because what I've been doing was, you know what, just come see us in our office.
Just give them the email.
And give us the email, but it is so much better when we take down people's information and we contact them.
You need a sheet for who wants to be master gardeners to sell.
We do that all the time.
Well, we
do.
Well, we also told them to
just email me, yeah.
Yeah.
So during the festivals, we normally have a sign-up sheet for Master Gardener volunteer training. So we will have that sign-up sheet again this year for all of our festival activities. All right, basically it's community outreach. We run a very meager plant clinic. We don't really take samples and whatnot there. But if people show us a picture of their magnolia tree, we might be able to give them some ideas of what to do, right? It's a really great way to funnel people into our office and to give them access to our other programming. All right. There are short shifts for those events. I generally have the sign-up sheet for like 2 or 3 hour blocks, nothing longer than that, although there are people who show up from morning and they pack up at night. That is those are your hours. Those are the things that you want to do. Charlie and Carla also do that a lot, and I'm very grateful for it because it allows people to have a continuity aspect to who they see and everything. So that is really great. But it is a way to get our name out into our county, all right? And it's usually an enjoyable time with other volunteers. This is a moment for you all to show everybody your cute puppy or your cute new granddaughter. Or I love the ones who come up and they're like, I have monarchs in my landscape. Look, look, look. And I love that. That's my favorite part. Because I'm not going to have a puppy. I dog sit a lot. That's how I get my urge for extra responsibilities out of the way. And of course, we all know I have rabbits and chickens. Did you all know that chickens are mean? Oh my God! So I don't even know where to find Betty right now. I have a white chicken. I got a new white chicken and a new colorful chicken. I call the colorful chicken Motley, and I call the white chicken Betty, right? And Betty just flies straight on out. She's like, y'all are not going to abuse me. I was fending for myself out here with cats, and I can't find Betty now, but Lord, please keep Betty wherever Betty is. But Motley is bigger than the other chickens, and she's just letting them be mean to her. So I have 4 chickens, and I thought they were sweet. I had no idea that when the cat was in the corner, it was because my chickens were like, try me, right? I had no idea that chickens were mean.
They are.
I was so undone yesterday. I really was. I was like, no, this. And then I kind of feel like these can't be the children I raised, but are they children? Right, anyway, so I digress as I normally do. So yeah, it's an enjoyable time with other people. You all get to know one another, you all get to communicate a lot better. And that way, you know, people with extra orchids can share them on your doorstep as well as the way that they share them on my doorstep. And let me tell you, for a person who never wanted orchids, because I was like, I mean, they're pretty and everything, but my orchids are blooming like gangbusters.
Yeah.
They are living their best lives on my absolute neglect. They are hanging out with the holly tree, and they're like, it's a holly jolly year. The whole year, somebody is out there just showing off, right? All right, so the next category is FFL outreach. It is truly the main thing of our programming, right? That is all I teach is Florida-friendly landscaping. And we're pushing it outward into our community, which we have accomplished, folks. I want you all to give yourselves a little pat on the back for doubling down with me on Florida-friendly landscaping, because when I first got here, most of my volunteers were like, we don't say those words. We try not to say that to other people. It's going to cause them to get upset and angry with us. And now we have people coming and saying those words to us, wanting more of our Florida-friendly landscaping programming. And that would not have been possible if I was the only person getting up and giving the lectures. That would not have been possible if I was the only person sending out emails saying, the Florida-friendly landscaping way of managing this problem is this, right? So I appreciate you all and your efforts. So Speakers Bureau and other lecture events. We have a lot of inquiries. I have about 4 of them that are in my draft box right now. So please be on the lookout for those dates, those times, and those opportunities. They are on the way. Educational materials preparation and placement. That is not only just dropping off our materials like Yvonne does to our libraries, but also helping me to prepare folders for people when they get the certificate of occupancy for their homes in Sebastian. They also get one of our magnificent folders with basic Florida-friendly landscaping information and some of our basic publications and the ways that they can engage with us further. We have received a good amount of traffic from those things. So that is those are some of the things. FFL outreach could include you all knowing the president of an HOA or a COA that needs help, or you live in one of those places and you all need help, and that would be fantastic for helping us. Yes, it's like, you slacker, you. I am here, sir, ma'am. Stop minding my business.
Let's get to graduation.
Let's get this. No, because I want this on record. Homeowner support through clinic services, miscellaneous volunteer events, site visits and certifications. We're going to do FFL certifications again. I am hoping to schedule that training again this month. So that's going to be fun. I have 2 landscapes that I want us to go and certify at the end of this month. All right. Social media outreach, you all already heard me speaking about that. And Speakers Bureau, yes, it is a lot of public speaking, but the majority of the work is done before the person gets up to speak, right? There's lecture development, so you might not be wanting to do the talk yourself, but you might want to help improve the talk. I'm here for that kind of help. Materials management, like I said, helping me get those boxes together, helping me to remember to order my plants on time. Listening and taking notes is also part of Speakers Bureau work, okay? And of course, scheduling, which, bless Peggy's heart. I love it. Thank you. All right, and then there was one more thing that I needed to talk to you all quickly about, and that is our 182 account.
That's where the money.
That's where that little tempest in a teapot started up about a month and a half ago. So let me give you all the heads up on how 182 accounts are managed and why we are obliged to use that for our fundraising efforts. We are the University of Florida Master Gardener Volunteer Group, right? we do all of our fundraising under the auspices of the University of Florida, which means that we are doing our fundraising under the University of Florida's nonprofit designation. That means we have a fiduciary responsibility for the way that we manage these public funds. All right? Why am I telling you all this? Because there are 67 counties in the state of Florida, and up until 2018, they were all running with their own accounts, and they were all doing any and everything they felt like doing, including Indian River County. Blessedly, we had people like Violet Krochmalny, who will not play. She's not going to accept an affidavit from me unless she knows that there was a complete act of God that made me have to give her an affidavit. She's not going to let me just come to her and say, hey, Violet, I swear I spent $380 the other day. She would have run me out of her office tarred and feathered, right? However, there are people in the world who do not know anything about financial controls. And they existed and operated in many, many other counties in Florida. And they perpetrated very, very egregious acts of fraud using these funds that were collected under the designation of us being nonprofits. And so the IRS told US, look, you can't continue to play this game with us, okay? We're not building sheds for people. We're not changing people's windows. We're not giving people roofs from money that was fundraised for this purpose. You're going to lose your designation, get your life in order. And the only thing that US could do, which, to be honest about this, I was shocked that these kinds of things happen because I incorrectly believed that in your basic college education, you receive some accounting classes. I was corrected a few weeks ago by an agent who has at least a master's degree. And she was like, no, didn't do not a one. I was floored. I had incorrectly assumed that everybody knew what fiduciary responsibilities looked like and how to operate under those guidelines. I was wrong. So having said that, way too many counties in Florida were allowing people to misuse funds. Our nonprofit designation was in jeopardy. And the only thing US could do was say, you know what, since you can't manage your money, since I can't trust you to be grown, put it here. We're going to have to take care of it, because if we don't, we can't keep telling the IRS, oops, but that's them. Them is under us. At the end of the day, the buck stops here literally. The responsibility for the mismanagement of those funds collected under US 5013C, is that what it's called? Yeah. Right. US can't continue to say, oops. We had to say, we're going to get in compliance no matter what it takes. And so that is what we did. It was painful. I was upset. Let me be clear. I'm even ridiculous enough to have raised my hand during one of those meetings, and I was like, so are we going to find out who went to jail and who got fired? And everybody was looking at me like, girl, you really are clueless. Right, because there was no accountability built into that system. It was chaos. 60 some odd counties are doing their own thing, and a significant amount of them were doing it the wrong way. So US had to take 67 counties worth of accounts and tuck it back up under her wing. That was an accounting nightmare, as Violet can attest to, that as Yvonne can attest to. And Yvonne got in when the water was smooth sailing. There was no, oops, we didn't close down this account and that's where the money went to, or anything like that, right? And so at first, we were being charged 1.6% management fee. I had a problem with that, because I was like, penalize those dummies who don't know what to do and leave me with my money, right? I shouldn't have to pay you to do what I've been doing. But again, everybody in the household gets a spanking when there's an uproar, yes? So that other 8.4% was being subsidized for the past 4+ years. The other areas of UF proper that were subsidizing that amount took that burden on unwillingly, but they had to do it because we needed to get back into compliance. And now they're not holding back that 8.4% anymore. So now when we fundraise, we now have to take into account that there is a management fee. Imagine your finance department that was running just fine with 10 or 15 people because you all are only doing the work for UF proper, for Gainesville proper. Now you not only have to take on 67 counties worth of extension offices, but you also have to take on every research center and everything. So UF accounting is now completely centralized. Your accounting department of 15 or 20 or however many people that it took to run just you at the seat has just been overwhelmed. They had to hire out new people. They had to increase the cost of running that part of UF. So please do not think that UF is just saying to themselves, we want to take your 10%. No, they want to keep their tax designation. And we were misbehaving. We were naughty children. We've gotten our hands slapped, and now we've got to pay.
How do we find out how much money we do have there? Because we had $400 and something
Years ago.
years ago.
Yes.
And we were taking 1%.
Well, no. They only take that as their management fee for the transaction, right? So this is not an off the top, if I put in $500, they're gonna start taxing me 10%. It's when I go and I swipe my P card, there is a cost for me swiping that P card for a body being in Gainesville to reconcile that into the correct account, to assign it to the correct extension service. That is when we get assessed that 10%.
Okay, so if we want something, we need to do the whole lump sum in one transaction and not.
No, it doesn't matter. If you're spending $500, you're just gonna get $50, no matter where. If you spend $450, if you spend $25 and $25, it still ends up being $500. It's a $50 charge. So it doesn't matter how many transactions. It's not per transaction. It is a percentage of the value. So it doesn't matter. It's 10%.
So what she's saying is
No, it's everybody.
they only take the 10% when you withdraw.
When right.
Not when you deposit them.
Right.
So it's raised $10,000 at $10,000
Yes.
there,
But know that you've only got $9,000 that you can spend.
Yeah.
Because there's gonna be 10% out of that. That is leverage. We don't have that. No, we don't. We have to have this conversation because there was a lot of misunderstanding. There was even a volunteer in one of the other counties, which I found that to be interesting, that was circulating a petition saying that we should be able to get our funds back and to manage them ourselves. We should, we did, we screwed it up. We got to go back home and deal with the consequences. So we have to keep that in mind. I applied for a grant before this 8.4% was returned to us, and it has been a nightmare to get my grant so that I can use the money, because my grant was written to within $87 of the limit, right? So I don't have an extra $500 built into my grant to be able to cover the cost of them administering it for me to use my P card to send it down. So I have to use my grant through the other side of my program in order to use it. But now going forward, all of my other grants, I will write with it in mind that I've got to make sure that the admin fees are taken care of in this grant. It is a difficult hurdle. It is a lot to swallow, I agree. However, it would be so much worse if we were making headlines for some of the shenanigans, and it's unnecessary. A university like University of Florida should never, ever, ever in this life be caught out there with people being able to say to an extension office, you all had a fundraiser the other day and I want to know what you did with the money. And those are subject to public records requests, are they not? Yes. Now, when those records are opened up and you find out that someone got new windows on their house, that someone built a new shed in their backyard, that's not going to be pretty.
Make it clear, when you say we, you mean the Royal Florida.
It is the royal
Not,
we.
not us.
It's not Indian River County. I told you all before. Christine and Violet, you'd have ate your $500. Show up with a receipt. Please and thanks. They were not going to play with that. You always,
Donated.
you're going to have a receipt, even if you're making a donation, because I record your donations into my end of year report. So even if you're donating something, I need the receipts to be able to back it up. All right? So I think that was really all that I needed to tell you all. I am sending out I'm sending out the Qualtrics survey link when I get upstairs, hopefully today. Please update your hours tonight or tomorrow. Because remember, October 31st is the end of my program year, and I am going to be this deep into reporting until 1st December. My report is due 1st December, the first Friday in December, and so I've been robbed this year. All right? And please go on the field trip on the 15th if you have opportunity. I know that Julia is not going to say this about herself, so I'm going to say it about her. She's a barrel of laughs and a lot of fun to be around. You all should just want to go just to go hang out with Julia and enjoy the shenanigans. If you ever want to have a good time, Julia is my good time girl, and I would go on this field trip. I would go on this field trip, but I am this deep into reporting. That's the only reason why I missed the field trip that you all have in November. Now, had it been December 15th, me and all of my glad rags would be there with you all. All right? So let me hand out these certificates.